Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Samantha of Senses of the Soul, and this is my November 2023 Ascension Energies update. So this month's theme is opening to readiness, and we're moving into the seventh chakra this month. And November's key words are cosmic wisdom, spiritual connection, and mystical expansion. So last month, October, was very intense. We had a lot of old trauma and wounds continue to surface as they had started in September, and events in the world really collectively overwhelmed and triggered us. And I'm sending out lots and love to those of you that are affected in the world by what's happening. What we are realizing through this, as old systems continue to break down and we move into the new earth paradigm, is that what we destroy means we destroy ourselves. And that is what's coming into very quickly and in a very hard way into the collective consciousness. And unfortunately, in transmuting all of this trauma, it took tremendous inner effort, especially for those of us that are very sensitive and or directly affected, and leaving many exhausted, fatigued, and ill. October's transmutation, though, of this trauma now gives way this month in November to the possibility of greater spiritual connection and mystical expansion. And this is important because we will continue this sense of introspection, spiritual growth, and personal transformation. And this allows us to move into this greater sense of inner divinity, oneness, and wholeness. And as this sense of connectivity comes online, we clear rigid mental patterns and blocks. We clear judgment and shame and blame. We move more out of the victim. And this allows us to flow with change of any kind and permit our seventh chakra, which is at the crown of the head, and this contains our higher destiny, to align with divine will. This creates an elegant dance between readiness, inner knowing, receptivity, and action. This is a very different sense of how we perceive reality. And this opening to readiness is key. It means we drop the ego that has an agenda that's linked to any wounding or can block us from changing, and instead move with the natural flow of life. We find more balance by using our inner will to create our lives, and at the same time allow ourselves to be inspired by the great mystery of creation. And in doing so, we then embrace the seventh chakra archetypes of the guru, which is the earthly archetype, and the priest, priestess, which is the spiritual. So the guru asks us to release what we think we need or who we are, and then surrender to the moment right in front of us. Okay, that's important because then we can use the present moment to shift our thinking and transform any judgment, as I said, such as insecurity, shame, unworthiness, or fear as we move along our spiritual path into focus, calmness, peace, and tranquility, which we need more of in the world and in ourselves. So, and as we move through this next level of transformation, we can absorb external sources of wisdom and ancient knowledge, tap into guidance in the forms of dreams and visions that comes in more through the pineal and that seventh chakra, and strengthen our channeling ability and interpretations of psychic thoughts without anxiety, so we can make decisions. As I said, as we move through the ascension process, we're becoming much more multisensory as we drop these levels of density and move into these higher levels of consciousness and guidance. So this renews our sense of higher purpose and trust that all is meant to be, which is very important as you move on the spiritual path. So the grace of the guru archetype aligns with our spirit and our inner truths so that we can live out our soul's calling here on earth. Now, the priest and priestess archetype, that's also part of the seventh chakra, supports us to let go of these judgments that seek personal gain. And we need to let go of that and know that we are exactly where we are meant to be. If you're reviewing the past still and are worried about the future, continue to stay in readiness, stay in this sense of being receptive, because all is not being revealed yet. We are cultivating great introspection, a deeper sense of spirituality this year, and we're planting seeds, as I said at the beginning of this year. I had talked about that in January. Next year is where we will see more of the reaping what we've sown. And as we do this, and when we drop that personal gain and just are there in readiness, then we become that conduit for light and love all around us. We are little bits of light in this world. For those of you particularly who are on the ascension path, who are aware, who really want to shift and change things in this world and support the new earth paradigm, this is about you being that bit of light wherever you are. And know that you are making a difference, despite what you may see out in the world right now. So the priestess, when we are that conduit, really helps us release any of those hard, rigid beliefs, thoughts, and feelings, and moves us towards this sense of altruism and heart-based living, which is where we're moving towards as we move more into this sense of oneness. So in November, we'll need to continue to undo our belief systems, okay, so that we can personally and collectively accelerate the change needed in the new earth paradigm in terms of bringing in new systems, new ways of being, new inventions, more creativity, bringing that feminine back online into every fiber of our being to co-create with our masculine, that inner divinity. We have the divine feminine and the divine masculine coming together. And this, as well, as I've said, is helping our relationships, which bit by bit are getting better. Even if there's some bashing up against each other, which there was in September, October, we saw more of the outcome of the trauma. Now, as we move into November, many more are seeking a spiritual path of peace, despite some of the lower vibrational energy out there in the world of anger and fear and destroying one another and our world. There is more of a unity coming in to lift us up to this next level of oneness. So continue on your path step by step, because we are making progress there. And letting go and flowing in this way, and knowing that we are that bit of light, that you are that bit of light, it ultimately leads to more cosmic illumination and mystical expansion. So that is what we are learning this month, and embracing that within ourselves. So the products I'm recommending this month that I have to support you vibrationally to help you set that template are my Guru Elixir and Essence, my Priestess Elixir and Essence, as well as my Empowered Rebel Essence. So the Empowered Rebel archetype is one of the new Earth archetypes that's coming online this year. And we are absolutely moving into these higher states of consciousness and awareness, becoming more empowered, igniting our personal power. And that's fueled by love and courage of the heart and being comfortable in our own skin. So that is something you're experiencing, I'm sure, as you go through this year. So keep that in mind, despite the fatigue and how difficult a lot of this has been for many of you, as we move through this great time of inner transformation. We're also this month shifting. Last month we were in the water cycle. We're heading into the wood cycle of creation this month. And this is going to allow us to have some breakthroughs in any patterns, obstacles in our way, internal self-sabotage, and holding the overall vision of your dreams. So please do that, whatever you're creating in your life. Don't give up. Continue to hold that as you spiritually expand. And that brings in, as that readiness I talked about, that brings in new possibilities. So this is continuing to flow and dance in life, transforming any anger and frustration or depression into action. So again, we're in deep-seated transformation this month in the wood, and we'll continue that into December. So dig in. Use all that courage and resilience that you have been learning this year. and keep moving forward on your path. I also have my Thrive Immune Tea. Our immune system is going to continue to be hit this month. So please look after your immune system again this month. My illumination tea and my illumination spray. So all of these products I have available for you this month to support you as needed. And the November psycho-spiritual and physical symptoms that you may experience this month, I have more of these in my written version. I won't give you all of them. Go over to my website at sensesofthesoul.ca, and I've got all of those listed there. But there will be greater introspection for you this month, and wisdom, and your intuition is probably increasing, you may be noticing, because that's going to just continue. But also we will have fatigue and low immunity, and some may feel apathy and depression, feel ungrounded, because when we're working on that seventh chakra, you need to keep grounding yourself. So go outside, do grounding practices such as yoga, qigong, meditation, anything to get you in your body more so. And continue to watch all the other symptoms that may be present. Again, I've got more of those listed in my written version of the November update. Cosmic events, we have the November 7th gateway, so 1177 gateway. All right, this month we have the November 1111 gateway. And this again, these gateways that come in, they're allowing us to kind of pause and reconnect with spirit before we begin moving forward again. Okay, our angels, our guides, the ancestors, the veil's thin this time of year, they're all supporting us. So continue to work with that energy and listen and pause as needed, self-care, and then take action as you need to move forward. You'll need to do that. We can't push, push, push anymore. And we also have Mercury retrograde starting at the end of this month. We have pre-shadow starting November 25th, and then we move into full retrograde in December. So I hope that was helpful for you this month. Please, as I said, continue to look after yourself, and let's send love and healing out around the world for those that are affected right now. And again, that higher vibration together, we are more powerful when we sit in love and that we care about each other, knowing that we need to come into right relationship with one another. Blessings to you, and I will see you in December.